Welcome to class 2. This is a continuation of our last class in the module where we are building a community of support for you, and so that you know the resources that are available to you and where to go, the tools that you need for your college career. Today we have several things planned. Obviously I have some guests here from our Success Center, and I want to give them an opportunity to visit with you, and this is going to bridge right into our activity immediately following this. So I will, would you like to?
Absolutely,
Go ahead.
I'm just going to hand those. You guys will take one and pass one down.
My name is Jenny. I am a Learn to Dream student success coach. This is Ron, same title as me. This is Anna. So we are your Learn to Dream student success coaches. If you've never met us before, we are located in the Success Center. Most of you are Learn to Dream students, and you will more than likely have an activity in this class where you need to meet with one of us. In the packets that Anna was handing out, it has our contact information.
One short down.
Oops. Will you hand one down? Awesome, thank you.
So please utilize our services. Feel free to make an appointment with us for that activity for this class, because there's hundreds of students all with the same class as this one, and they all have the same activity at the exact same week usually, so the line can get kind of long if you wait for a walk-in. So if you could make an appointment with us, it's roughly about a 30-minute appointment. We kind of sit down with you one-on-one and go over some stuff with you. Two things that I would like to say to you is to keep your Learn to Dream scholarship, you have just two requirements. One is to pass this class, so study hard, do your homework, do your assignment, and show up for class. And number two is you have to have a cumulative GPA of 2.0 or higher. Does everybody know what a cumulative GPA is? Okay, so cumulative means total. We start calculating it after you've taken 12 credit hours. So if this is your first semester and you're taking less than 12 credit hours, we will not calculate your GPA until after that. But as long as you get a C or better in all of your classes, it will never, ever, ever be an issue. Well, we are here for you if anything feels weird, you start feeling overwhelmed, classes aren't fitting your schedule, work stuff happens. Please come see us. Our entire job is to literally just help you be successful in college. So the last thing I'm going to say is, again, just please utilize our services, because we were hired specifically to help Learn to Dream students. We help all students, but you guys are our number one priority. I'm going to pass it off to Ron.
We're good at it because we've been through it, okay? We've been up and down in college, and we've been good and successful, and we've been not so good and not so successful, so we know what it's about. So right now, the three of us are working with, I think, about 75 students who have lost their scholarship. And here's how that works. They still think they're on the Learn to Dream. So when they went and registered for classes, their tuition was paid for. Does that make sense? No problem. But they're on probation. They need to contact one of us to talk to us about and to put together a success plan. Now, if they never contact us or go through that process, here's what happens. About halfway through the semester, we have to notify the registrar that Jackie's not doing it. Jackie's not going through the probationary process. So then when Jackie goes to register for the next semester, you know what she runs into? She runs into an account payable. She owes the tuition for the spring semester. She can't register until she pays for it. We don't want that to happen. We don't want that to ever happen. So anyway, working with these people, these students, here's what I run into, and y'all chip in. They don't set aside the right amount of time to study. How many hours are you in class a week? You're only in class 2 to 3 hours a week?
Actually, 6 maybe.
Only 6 hours, so you're not registered for a full-time load. You're only registered for this class and? Well, let's just take you for example, Ollie. we recommend that you set aside 18 hours of study, 3 hours outside of class for every hour inside of class. To start with, okay? Is that a lot? That's not a lot? Who in here is registered for 12? You're in there. Oh. How many hours are you in class a week?
12.
How many hours should you set aside for study?
20, no, not 24, probably more than that,
Up
36.
36. I don't know about y'all, but when I got to college, I was shocked. Matter of fact, I was really mad when I found out that I could no longer belong like a high school student. I didn't know studying in high school. We did everything in class, didn't we? Really? And all of a sudden in college, 90% of what you all need to do is outside of class. So number one, set aside the right amount of time to do your studies. This is what I'm hearing from these students. They say, you know, I didn't know college was so serious. I didn't know we moved so fast. I didn't know I had to study so much. And I got behind, and then I just got discouraged. And I just kind of said, what the heck? So, number one, set aside the right amount of time. Just do it for the first 4 weeks of the semester, okay? And then reevaluate, because guess who's in charge of your life?
We are.
You are. You are your boss. So at the end of it, 4 or 5 weeks, just check yourself out. Say, am I okay or am I not okay? But here's the deal, you won't be behind. Getting behind in college is just almost a kiss of death, okay? Because you get, I mean, if you can't keep up, how can you catch up and keep up? It's terrible. And I've been there. So, okay, so number one, set aside right amount of time. Number two, y'all need to find a place you can study. Who all studies at home? Does that work for you, really? No interruptions whatsoever, no pets, you never go to the refrigerator. So you can hear all those interruptions, can't you? So what we recommend is just treat college as your number one job, okay? Report to work, say between 8 or 9 every morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, okay? Are you game for that? And then find a place out here where you can study. And you know what works. I used to tell people, tell them all the rules and regulations to study, but no, you need to figure out what works for you. Turn the phone off during study hours. Trust me, your heart will not stop. It won't. Okay, so turn the phone off, study for 50 minutes. How long can you study, do you think, before your eyes get tired and your head quits?
I usually study for like an hour and then I take a 30-minute break.
Oh, take that advice. You got to figure out yourself. Once upon a time, I used to tell people, do not study on the bed. Do not. Well, I have a friend by the name of Bob Miller. He's a lawyer in town here. Bob used to lay on his bed like this. His technique of studying was read his assignments really slow and memorize them as he went. And he could do that for 8 hours. And I used to walk through his ears and said, Bob, how do you do that? And he'd get mad at me. He says, do what? And I interrupted his concentration, right? He said, what's your problem, Ron? I said, I don't know how you do what you do. And he said, do what I do? What are you talking about? I don't know how you lay on your bed like this and read slowly. Never took a note, never highlighted it. I said, I don't know how you do that. And he would just simply say, leave me alone. So number one, set aside the right amount of time for the first 4 weeks and then reevaluate. Know that you are in charge of your life. And I'm thinking that every one of you in here can accomplish a C average, as Jen said you need to do. What do you think? Because we're here to help you do that, but you've got to do the work. You've got to do the work. Set aside the right amount of time, find a neat place to study that works for you. Now, I know you'll never believe this, but my place to study was a donut shop because I'm an early morning riser. I'm up at 5 or 6 in the morning, just no alarm, no nothing. I'd go to the donut shop. My favorite activity is coffee, reading, and a donut. I know I don't look like that, but, so anyway, you have to figure out where you're gonna study at. And then I could study at that donut shop until, let's say I started at 7, I was good until about 8:30 or 9, and then guess what would happen to me, Dylan? I'm an extrovert. And I would begin hearing everything in the room. What was that telling you to do? Time to move, Ron. Yeah. So my second place was down at the University of Nebraska Love Library. Cool little place, over in the corner, round table, plenty of room, coffee machine right there beside me. Yeah, I'm kind of addicted to it. That would last until about 10. And then guess what would happen to me? I'd begin to notice everything in the room. Who's that talking over there? Oh, that cash register. So, what did it tell me to do? Move on, right? My third place was the stacks at Love Library. I think it was floor, is that floor 3 or 4 or only 4?
I
Or
don't remember, but I do know what you're talking about.
up in the stacks, back in the 60s, they had rows and rows and rows of books. But on the outside of the floor, they had study carols. I don't think I ever saw another human up there. From time to time, I'd worry a little bit and say, you know, if I die, they're not going to find me for 3 days. Why would I care? Huh? Time is so important to avoid getting behind and getting discouraged. Okay? Place. And then there's methods of studying. Why are we asking you to do what we ask you to do here? We have an advisory council that's made up of people who hire people that graduate from here. They tell us what they want our graduates to do. They do. And they say, no. Get people to interact, because we have a problem. They won't even talk to each other. So your activity in the morning is great. Kind of getting you out of your shell, right? No, everything we ask you to do is what our advisory councils have told us, because they're going to be hiring you. So that's why we ask you to do it. Now there's techniques. Why do you learn what you want to learn? You may not know this yet, but you will. You're going to get into your 30s. You're going to be employed out there, and you're going to want to be known as somebody. How do you pronounce it? Moi?
Moi.
Moi?
Moi.
Boy.
Moi.
Moi.
Boy. Moi.
Thank you, boy.
There you go.
Boy, you're going to want to become known wherever you work at as somebody that's really good at something. So let's say you're in mechanics and somebody brings in a wild and crazy car, but that's your specialty. The other 3 or 4 mechanics can't figure it out. You know what they want to say? Get Moy over here. He knows everything about this type of car. I'm serious. You're going to want to be that person. You're not going to want to be the person that they don't know what to do with. You're just a little bit too good to fire, but they keep you on the oil rack. Moy's good at changing oil. After a while, he said, no, can I do something different? So, and I cannot share with you enough how much we want you to succeed. We get very excited about who we are and the role we've been asked to play. So use us, okay? Anna, anything I missed?
I think the only thing I just want to say, I've only been at Southeast since October of this year, but I have just been so impressed with all of the things that this college has in place that helps you succeed. And so us as success coaches, that's just one element. And one thing that we can do is connect you with those resources. You have amazing instructors. And I would just encourage you to seek us out, stop in, let us know those successes. Stop in early if you're having a struggle or a challenge so that we can help get those, connect you to those resources from the get-go and cross that finish line with everybody celebrating. So, thanks for letting us spend some of your time. Thank you.
No,
We
no, they
appreciate
are
it.
the rock stars of the college. They are begging instructors to have you come to them. Did you?
I want to add one additional thing. I hope this doesn't happen to you, but let's say you end up close in the quarter and you know you're not going to have the 2.0 average, okay? Know that you're going to get a letter from us saying, hey, the learning agreement's been suspended, but know this, it's very easy to get rectified, but you have to do what the letter tells you to do. So we send a letter, we send an email, and for most all the students, we have to call them yet and say, hey, we'd like to set up a time when we can sit down and talk with you about putting together a student success plan so we can rejuvenate your Learn to Dream Scholarship. Now, if you say no, yeah, you've just given up $6,000, okay? That's a lot. To me, it's not. What we would rather see is that if you think you're going to go under that 2.0, contact us. Come on and say, hey, Ron, hey, Anna, hey, Jenny, whatever, whichever one. You know, I think we have two people right now, I think, that are on the borderline of the suspension process. They want to go through the probationary process anyway because they want to do better. Okay, so we would think, what, if you think that could be happening to you at the end of this semester, give us a buzz. You know, it's so easy to take care of that issue, but if the issue is not taken care of, it's real punishing. You get to go home to your mom and dad or whoever's supporting, says, hey, guess what? Do you have any money to pay for tuition next semester? And, thanks for having us.
Yeah. You do me a favor, before you leave, will you write your names and your extension numbers on the board, your phone numbers?
They
on the board?
have that.
Oh,
We
you're right in
can,
there, yeah.
but it's in here.
Okay.
Do you still want us? Okay. And I'm gonna, do you have one of these?
I would love one of these, thank you
If
so
you
much.
could please make an appointment with us for that assignment, that would save you time and you wouldn't have to wait for a walk-in.
And again, sooner than later, because we do have lots of probation meetings and those time slots are going to fill up quickly.
Who all knows where the Student Success Center is at? For some of you who don't, you're standing at the phone operator, right? Look over your left-hand shoulder. We're in that terrarium, that glassed-in area. You know that, right?
Thank you.
Okay. Hey, good luck. We're excited for you. Oh, we should have clapped for them. Welcome to SCC.
Yes, thank you.
Come and see us anytime.
What?
Come and see us anytime.
I might.
Okay, he does. He comes and visits my classes. I love it. Okay, so there is a great resource for you. I'm serious, these people are wonderful. They send notes all the time. Please send students to us. And I do and I try to, but I love that they offered to come into the class. All right, now that we have, good.